So first, really wanted to thank everybody for a great response to this project. I got a lot of thumbs up and a lot of nice comments, and I really appreciate that. And I read all the comments. I've kind of fallen behind on answering the comments because I'm just a horrible typer and it takes me forever, and I always feel like I'd be better off out in the wood shop or the art studio. But I do read them all and I really appreciate them, so thank you. And I think the biggest comment that I got on this project was, why didn't I line the veneer up on the drawer fronts? And the answer to that one is I totally screwed up. And I didn't even realize it until I was reading the comments. And it was something that I made a note of when I was cutting the veneer. In my mind, I thought, yeah, I'll just line those up. But then it just escaped me. And probably the reason for that is this was a real rush job. I started this on Wednesday and finished it on Thursday. I think Friday morning I was just putting it together, but it was done really quickly. I was editing video while the glue was drying on the veneer, and I just totally forgot. But I don't mind the way it looks, so I can understand why people were a little disappointed with that, but I'm fine with it. I think it looks good, and I really like the project. Another thing, I got an email on this one. One guy wasn't very happy about me using the nail gun to attach the trim, and that didn't bother me. I used sawdust and epoxy for the wood fill. I used a walnut sawdust, really fine sawdust, and it makes a dark fill, which is what I always like to use, a dark fill when I'm making filler, something darker than the actual species, because I think it looks more like an imperfection in the wood as opposed to wood fill. And maybe I'll take a close-up because you can, it's very hard to see where the nails were. A couple of questions about my spraying system, and I guess we'll walk out to the barn. I'll point out, or I'll show you what I use to spray lacquer. I think lacquer is probably one of the easiest finishes that you can use. It dries quickly and it's easy to get a good finish. So we'll go over that. I did get a question about the wall color in this room here, and it's Thunder by Benjamin Moore. And this is something that we just painted, I think, a couple of months ago. And so I guess that is about it. Let's go out in the barn and I'll show you the sprayer. This is my spray system, and it's one of the vacuum systems that you probably see pretty often today. I used to spray with compressed air, and that's just a lot more work because you need a compressor and you need something to dry the air out. With this, you simply plug it right into a 110 receptacle and you're ready to go. As far as my lacquer mixture, I usually will mix 2/3 lacquer and 1/3 lacquer thinner. And I don't measure it, I just sort of eyeball it. And I guess the main rule of thumb is always just keep it thin. You don't want to spray your lacquer too thick because that's where you're going to run into trouble. You're better off having several thin coats and sanding in between coats than trying to build it up too quickly with thick coats. So again, thanks so much for all the thumbs up and the nice comments on this video. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.